Okay, so everybody seemed to kind of like my little story about Poison opening up for Leatherwolf and Celtic Frost. So let's see how you guys like this story. So the very first time I went and saw Motorhead was 1986, right here at the Hollywood Palladium, Hollywood, California. Me and my buddy Frank, we were just really into Motorhead. We really dug Motorhead at that time, and it was crazy. It was packed in there. Now, I want you to keep in mind. I believe now because I've seen bands like the Reverend Horton Heat there, in 2016 or 17 or something like that, and so they had security out there towards the front of the thing. But back when we went there to that Motorhead gig, there wasn't any fenced off part. Like it was the stage and then it was the crowd. And there was some security there, but there wasn't any fencing or anything like they do now. And this Motorhead is just jamming. I mean, they're just loud and powerful, just jamming. And this skinhead punk rock dude, every time he went around, he kept spitting on Lemmy. And Lemmy was just getting pissed. And they're playing "Steal Your Face," one of the Motorhead songs. And the guy comes around, and Lemmy starts cussing at this guy, telling him, this and that. So the guy comes around again, spits on Lemmy. Me and my buddy Frank, we were kind of on the outer edge of the pit. We were in there slamming. We'd get out, take a break, And Lemmy, as soon as that guy came around and spit on him again, Lemmy, when that guy comes around, he's coming right by the front. Lemmy just, with his big old biker boots, just kicks him right in the face. I mean, boom. Then he takes off his Rickenbacker, and, it was like a 70s model Rickenbacker, and he throws it down, and then he jumps out into the crowd. And keep in mind, back in these days, there was like skinhead punk gangs and stuff. Lemmy, he didn't think about it, he didn't care. That guy had to be the craziest guy of all time or something. He goes in there, me and Frank, we're just watching Lemmy pound the crap out of this guy, just beating him and beating him. And so Motorhead, the band, the rest of the band, this is 1986, so it was the Orgasmatron tour. They're still playing. Because I remember looking up, and Wurzel, he's still playing, and Phil Taylor, he's still playing, And Lemmy just pounding this guy. So security goes out, and they pull Lemmy up, and Motorhead, the band, is still playing. And so Lemmy gets back up on the stage after kicking the crap out of this kid, puts on his bass, and then he gets back up on the stage, and he's pointing at this guy out there in the crowd, and he's just cussing at him, and he's daring him to do it again, just daring him to do it again. Lemmy had to be one of the craziest guys I've ever seen. And, those other punk dudes, you don't know if they were in a skinhead punk band or not, but there was a bunch of skinheads there and stuff. And it was crazy, And, and Lemmy tells the rest of the band, he says, "Stop playing." and then Lemmy just keeps on cussing at the guy, telling him how he's going to pound his face in and all this and that. And and then they started playing another song. They didn't finish "Steal Your Face." I think maybe Lemmy was so pissed off he just didn't want to get on into doing another or finishing that song. And I forget which one they played because all I remember is like, dang, me and Frank were just talking. He beat the crap out of that guy. So anyway, that's just a funny little story I have of a gig back in the day.